Welcome to the Don't Call It Small Business Podcast, powered by Foreman & Associates, LLC, a consulting and professional development services firm. I'm your host, Natasha Foreman. Our podcast provides professionals and organizational leaders with helpful advice, tips, and business news that you can use for training, development, strategic realignment, and more. We examine the tough questions and issues impacting our businesses, households, and communities. If you like what you hear and find the content useful, please share us with your inner circle. Now that we've covered that and you've learned a little about us and why we do what we do, let's get to work. Join us for today's episode. Hey everyone. Welcome back for another episode. Oh my goodness. This is what, episode 85? We're going to talk about being intentional. Let me start you guys off with a quote from, let me adjust my mic. I don't know. Actually, I don't know who this quote is from, so I won't lie. It's actually a motivational quote that I found, it's like wall art or something. But it's about mindset. And it says, the driving force in the quest for success and achievement, a mindset that combines discipline, strength, confidence, and ambition, is a powerful mindset. This can achieve anything it sets its sights on. A powerful mind can achieve anything. I saw that, I read that, I took that in, and it resonated with me. And I felt like I could apply it to today's episode because when we're talking about being intentional with our time, the focus is on our mindset. What's the driving force to that? How much do you value your time? That's then the indication of whether you're going to be intentional about how each moment is spent or not, right? And I was thinking about this a lot because, so many of us can get really caught up in the world and in social media and in what's going on in the news and the office gossip and the neighborhood gossip and what sister so-and-so was doing or not doing. And those moments add up, right? There's a compound effect that takes place. And there's a quote from Sunday Adelaha that says, to live intentionally implies that it is not going to be always convenient, but it is what will take you to significance if you do not give up. When you get up in the morning, when you rise, when your eyes open, what are the first things that you do? How do you express exert your, engage your energy, the first moments of your day? I know when I get up, I'm usually stretching and feeling whatever energy that has been knotted up, balled up inside, and I'm trying to woo-saw through that. But I've created a morning routine that helps to stabilize me spiritually, mentally, physically. And that starts with me doing my Bible study lessons, my Breaking Bread with Natasha. If you don't follow my blog and my podcast, Breaking Bread with Natasha, please check it out. You can visit breakingbreadwithnatasha.com for more details. That's how I start getting that spiritual rootedness. And I will journal, and I'm not consistent with that. I'm trying to be better at being consistent with that. Like, haven't journaled today, so I'm gonna have to journal when I'm done recording this. And I try to make sure that I get my time in to meditate and to do some yoga. Really get my energy connected and grounded and intentionally focused on what my day would hopefully look like and feel like. Can't control it, right? But I can control how I react, how I respond to what's happening around me and to me. So if I can get my mind right and my energy properly aligned, I can then, sometimes I can do pretty good counter moving when something comes my way. So I perform, I make sure I focus the time on the meditation and the yoga, the journaling. I usually listen to some inspirational messaging, so it could be a Joel Osteen message, and Darren Hardy has a Darren Daily message. I will also tap into the various podcasts that I listen to. I already know someone's going to say, whoa, what podcast do you listen to? So I listen to various podcasts. John Maxwell's podcast. There's others that I listen to. I have, so I make sure that at the start of my day and throughout my day, I am filling that day with as much positive energy as possible. I am being intentional as to what I'm letting in. And so while I'm driving in the car, whatever the audiobooks or whatever music or whatever messaging I am focused on, and I am determined that I am seeking out positive energy that's going to keep recharging me versus tapping into something that I know it's going to drain me. So even the conversations that I have, if I am the phone calls that are coming in or the text messages that are requesting some of my time, I'm learning to be more intentional about how I and when I choose to engage with those other energy sources, right? Those other people. And so with that, when it comes to social media, I give myself about 15 minutes, a day, or 15 minutes in the earlier part of the day, maybe 15 minutes towards the evening, if that. And so it may be by application, it may just be in total. It really depends on what I am feeling. Sometimes I am giving 15 minutes total to hop into Instagram, to hop onto other platforms, check in, pour in some positivity, extract some positivity, recharge, and hopefully recharge other people, and then dip out. And so there may be days where I can have more wiggle room and I can, spend 30 minutes, but no longer will I invest the hours that I used to invest in social media, and the news and things of that nature. I'm learning how to take smaller bites, take it in, process it, and move forward. It's what is healthy for me. It's understanding that all of that energy, and I want you to think about that, all of the energy that is circulating, that is being primed and pumped in all of these resources that we are tapping into, we're then taking all of that energy in. So those thousands and millions of people that have something to say and share on these various platforms, we are taking in their energy. All of the news reporters and the people that are being interviewed and for the various news stories, their energy is being shared, and we're taking that energy in. So with that, I'm like, wow, I'm not trying to be a human receptacle to all that other energy. I need to properly channel it and be intentional with how I engage with it. And being intentional with my day means making sure that I plan it as much as possible. Of course, there's always going to be something that throws a monkey wrench, but if I have a basis, a core outline to follow, it keeps me focused. I've shared in different episodes that I'm a paper and pencil kind of person, and so I prefer to write down my to-do list, and I try to get that list done over the weekend, and then I can fill in and modify as the days unfold. But you know, that list it's the to-do list. It starts with my breaking bread, and it's the journaling and setting up and scheduling my breaking bread outlines for future messages and my Bible study lessons. I usually I use like the YouVersion app, and so I'm usually reading probably 3 or 4 Bible plans a day. And like I said, the yoga, meditate, my messaging, and then from there, after I've covered my internal, right? I've covered my mind and spirit, my body, right? I've done that. I've started my day with those 3 things working in harmony. I then can focus on whatever tasks are required of me for my household, for my career. And then I can roll into the back end of my day, recharging myself with my the language apps that I use, Duolingo, to make sure that I am working on my various languages that I'm studying, learning. And I end my day listening to some form of positive messaging, if it's meditation or something inspiring. Now, I won't lie, there's plenty of times I'll listen to the Twilight Zone messages on YouTube. Not always the best thing, especially if they're really detailed, and then while I'm sleeping, my mind is then processing with that drama. So sometimes it backfires. But with that, I've got things outlined. And what I'm realizing is that I'm getting more out of my day when I'm intentional about it, when I'm not just letting life happen to me, but I am being an active participant. I am claiming the dominion over my experiences. And so with that, I'm finding myself that when I'm tired, is because I know that I have put, that energy out there. I have, pedal to the metal. I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, and it's not busy work, and it's not meaningless, and it's not cheapened or devalued. It's very rich. It's very intentional. And I've noticed that the more that I do that, the more I focus on that, the more I push out and delegate the other periphery things that don't align with the core things that I need to do to fulfill my top priorities. If I am not focused on those top priorities, then what happens is my day starts to be ruled by the world. And that's not a good thing. When my energy is being invested more in other things, in the periphery, than in the core, I have a problem. If I have a to-do list, but I haven't sat down and said, okay, what's the top 3 priorities that I need to make sure that are accomplished today? I'll get consumed with the to-do list, and I'll have all these different things, and then I'm multitasking, and we already know that our brain does not do well with multitasking. So then I'm like, oh. So with that, I have to make sure, and I just happened to look down today. Interesting enough, today's list, I have my list, but I have not written my top 3 priorities. So I'm looking at it now, and my top 3 priorities I can see now. I'm writing them down. And so my number one is that I'm searching for the home that is seeking me. Right? That's number one. Number two is going to be recording this. And then number three is my number three priority is going to just be to breathe and to let go of the things that I'm not supposed to be holding on to, right? I'm not supposed to be trying to manage. Of the things that I know that are much bigger that need to be, bite-sized. They need to be chunked down. The things that are out of my control that I think I can control. We've talked about that in previous episodes. That's one of my weaknesses that I am working on, is to understand that the only thing I can control are the words that come out of my mouth. Right? That's the only thing I can control. That's the only thing I should focus on controlling. So I really want to talk about this because people have spoken to me about it, and the more I hear it, the more I'm like, okay, this is something that other people are also struggling with. And there's all these different tools and resources and videos about how you can do this and do that, and really what it comes down to is what works for someone else may not work for you. You have to really sit down and tune out the world and ask yourself, what is it that I truly desire? What do I value? What do I want most? What will bring me the joy that I seek? And oftentimes we'll find out that it's less than what we're actually chasing. We're chasing what we think equates to the success, that equates to the happiness that we see. But to be intentional, you have to live on purpose, right? You have to sit back and say, it's not the hours of the day, it's not the days of the week, it's those moments. Each moment we have, this moment that you're having right now with me. If I was speaking negativity, if I was having a boo-hoo and being cynical, think about that energy that you would then be taking in. Instead, I'm pouring something positive into you, to fill you up, to recharge you, so that hopefully you pay it forward, right? There's a quote from Richie Norton that says, intentional living is the art of making our own choices before others' choices make us. And that's the thing. When we sit back and other people dictate our day, the choices we make, how we live, it's like, yeah. I found a quote, and it's from Aristotle. And it says, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. I think a lot of us are, you're focused on luck and thinking that it's all about luck versus it's the choices, right? Some things are by grace, not by luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in good fortune. But I believe in grace, and I believe in mercy. I believe in that what I put out there comes back to me magnified, right? Because as I just finished sharing, that all the energy that is put out there, right? The moment you take in something from a portal, you're taking in a lot. So imagine what you put out, especially if it's replicated, then it comes back to you. I have a desire to grow. I don't know about you, but I think probably because you're listening, you probably also have a desire to grow. And Kurt Kampmeyer says, if you're going to grow, you have to be intentional. It's not letting life happen to us. And I think that's why when a lot of us fall into traps of depression, it's because we've been allowing life to happen to us. We really start to feel that lack of control. And you feel that because you're not being intentional in your daily walk. So it does feel like a fire hydrant experience. It does feel like you have absolutely no say in the matter. And that's because when you're taking your hand off the wheel, it's not because you're allowing your creator, your higher power to take the wheel. It's because you're allowing the world to take it. You're allowing all these different people in your life. You're allowing people that you don't even know take control of that steering wheel, and everyone's pulling that wheel in different directions, and it's spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And there's nothing that you can do. You're just sitting there hoping your seatbelt's going to work. You're hoping the airbags are going to work. Hoping the airbags, that you're not too close to the airbags and you end up breaking your jaw or snapping your neck. Right? Those are all the things that end up coming in your mind. Oh my gosh, all these what ifs. So you don't need any fancy system. You don't need to spend a bunch of money. You don't need all the whatever. You just need, just grab a piece of paper, notebook paper, whatever. Doesn't matter. You don't have to. Just write down what is it when you visualize what your life can be, right? With all the things lined up as you would desire them to be. What does that look like? Who is sharing that moment, that experience with you? How do you feel in that moment, in that experience, in that future you, that future home, that future career, that whatever? And then look at your current life and see what things are distracting you. What things are pulling so much of your mind and energy away from being able to achieve that? You have 24 hours in a day. You can't spend all 24 hours actively engaged, right? We need 6 to 10 of those hours where we are recharging, where we are disconnected, where our bodies can rest, heal. Our minds can heal. And the mindset of this constant grind, and then we're seeing people that are suffering from all kinds of preventable diseases. We're seeing a lot of people with inflammation. It's because we're doing too much. We're doing too much and we're not intentional with our energy. We're not controlling that. We're not dictating, we're being dictated to by the world, by a bunch of people, most of which we don't even know, and they don't know us, right? So then you turn around and you complain and you blame and you whine. But why? It's the choices that you've made. You chose to invest your energy, your time, doing exactly what you did. But you want it to be someone else's fault. It's not. So we have to take ownership. We have to say, that wasn't too smart. It wasn't a great way. It wasn't a good investment of my time and my energy. I'll do better next time. I'll learn to pivot. I'll learn to lovingly say no. I'll learn to lovingly say maybe another time, but not today. I'll learn to delegate versus thinking that only I can do it and do it the best. That's hogwash. Someone else can do it. You just choose to do it. You want the credit for doing it. You want to feel in control by doing it. And then complain about how exhausted you are because you were doing so much. If we want to live long lives, we have to be intentional with these moments we have. It's as simple as that. If not, life takes over and we leave sooner than we planned. John Maxwell said, an unintentional life accepts everything and does nothing. An intentional life embraces only the things that will add to the mission of significance. Is what you're doing so far today, is what you have, the things that you've already done today. Have they added to the mission of significance? Have they added to what is needed in order to achieve those dreams that you have that keep replaying in your mind year after year? If not, stop doing it. Or do it in your downtime when you've done everything else that was significant. That's where we need to be. That's how we need to think. That's how we need to operate. Right there. Right there. All right, folks. Let's do some business shout outs. Work for you? All right. So, first up is Papa Rozier Farms. They have natural beauty products grown on their farm in Haiti. They're handmade in Bushwick, New York. Castor and moringa oils are the core of their product line. They're not refined, which means there's no bleaching, deodorization, or hexane. You've got to check them out, you guys. It's amazing what they do. Their website is Papa Rozier Farms. That's PAPAROZIER farms.com. And the idea of this farm is a result of over 10 years of planning and farming. And it's a family-owned business. And it started with their grandfather. He had 50 acres of organic, rich, fertile farmland in Haiti. And it's amazing. They hand-pick the seeds. They wash and sun-dry them. They ship them to their pressing facility in Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York. And they're then cold-pressed and bottled, just like their grandfather would have done years ago. It's a beautiful story. So they walk you through the steps in their process, and it is literally, it's over 52 weeks. Over 52 weeks from planting the seed to having it picked from their crop and cold pressed in a bottle for you to enjoy. I want you guys to check them out. They have some of their best sellers. Are there, of course, their oils. They have a whipped shea butter and moringa body cream. They have something for your whole body, from the scalp down to your toes. They have gift boxes and everything else. So I want you guys to check out paparozierfarms.com, and on Instagram they're at Papa Rozier. Up number 2, we have the Sister Shop, located at Atlantic Station in the city of Atlanta. That location is woman-owned, black-owned. It's a boutique. They say, welcome to a sanctuary of sisterhood. The location is at 265 18th Street Northwest, Suite 4180 in Atlanta. That's 30363. You can reach them at area code 404-228-3203. And that's just one location. There's another location in Elizabeth, New Jersey. There's over 100 black-owned brands, black women-owned brands under one roof. They have gift cards. They also have job opportunities. You're looking for a job, visit their website for details. Visit thesistashop.com. That's sister with an H, so THESISTAH shop.com. Check out SIB Expo on Instagram, and visit sistersinbusinessexpo.com to learn more about their retail and expo vendor apps and event tickets and more. They have some amazing products in there, and if you want to be able to support some women-owned businesses, some black women-owned businesses, this is a great way to do so. I'm extremely excited for them and proud of the work that they are doing. This started as they have their Business Expo brand is a 5,000 square foot retail store that's in Elizabeth, New Jersey. It's at the Mills at Jersey Gardens, and they solely feature and highlight brands that are created by entrepreneurial women of color, and it's the nation's largest and fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs. So they use a hybrid setup, and they retail a curated line of products made by women of color, while also featuring local vendors in a pop-up model on the weekends. And so this model allows the Sister Shop to feature more than 500 brands annually. And their ultimate goal is to be a multi-city retail site as well as an e-commerce destination. Right now, they're the country's only multi-city small business expo and community created to celebrate and educate entrepreneurial women of color. So I really want you guys to check out Sisters in Business. They also have a business university with courses and events, and they have a Sisters in Business pitch competition and a foundation. So they are founded by Aisha Taylor, and she is a successful entrepreneur and ordained minister. She's a college professor, born and raised in Brooklyn. Check them out. Check them out. I'm very, very excited for them. And number 3, our third business, last but not least, is Humble B. Humble-B. They have some amazing products. Everyday diaper bags designed for active parents. They have nursing made easy with their nursing slings. They have an accessory bundle that's included with every diaper bag purchase. They create a versatile line of products that encourage family bonding and adventures from your home to the world. What is so cool is they take in consideration the active parents that like to hike and travel and do things. And if you think about the typical diaper bags and slings, they are not for the active family at all. It's not. And so the founders They enjoy hiking along a trail, and they love backpacking, and they understand that there's some mommy and daddy bees out there who believe in staying active and engaging with the world, and they want to do so with their children. What's really cool is that Humble Bee is committed to providing help to communities in need. And so since their inception, they've donated more than $200,000 worth of products and supplies to disaster recovery, and most recently, frontline healthcare providers fighting the pandemic. So they are really doing their thing. So if you want to hike or run errands or spend a day at the beach, you want to hang out with friends or explore your backyard, you should have some products that will allow you to do so. And Humble Bee may just be the line for you. They may have the resources that you need. So visit their website, www.humble-bee.com. And on Instagram, you can visit them at Humble Bee Adventure. Yes, very excited. If you or someone you know could benefit from the added exposure that our business shoutout segment provides, reach out to us and share your business information to be considered for an upcoming episode. I want you guys to visit foremanllc.com/podcast. Does that work? Does that sound like a plan? Does that sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me. So, I just want to say that I'm hoping that what I shared with you guys today, that it resonates with you. If so, please share it with others and let me know how you're doing with, being intentional with your day. Well, there's the music. It's that time. It's time for us to wrap up and go our separate ways until we see each other next. If you guys have any questions or suggestions about the show, please visit foremanllc.com/podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please rate and review the podcast so that others can find us. We want to make sure that we give proper credit for our show's theme songs. We have Higher Up, which is what you're listening to right now, and our business segment song is called Pulsar. Both of these songs are by the talented Shane Ivers. And I want to leave you guys with another quote. And where is it? I'm all over the place. Did I already say this one? I don't know. Oh, I did. That one's from Aristotle. I guess I'm going to have to find another quote for you, huh? I jumped in on my quotes. I love sharing it. So, earlier I mentioned, talked about meditation, and sometimes people kind of like overdo their thought process with that. But John Kabat-Zinn said, meditation is the only intentional, systematic human activity, which at the bottom is about not trying to improve yourself or get anywhere else, but simply to realize where you already are. And so that ability to disconnect your mind, to just disconnect from everything and tune in and just listen in the process is a great way of doing what needs to be done to be intentional. But let me leave you with this quote from Thich Nhat Hanh that says, many of us slog through life without conscious awareness or intention. We set ourselves a course and we barrel ahead without stopping to ask whether this path is fulfilling our most important goals. That's partly because many of us believe that happiness is not possible in the here and now. We think we need to struggle now so that we will be happy in the future. So we postpone happiness and try to run into the future and attain the conditions of happiness that we don't have now. Yeah, let you think about that. Let you think about that.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, there's 4 things that we ask of you. First, please leave a rating and review. Second, be sure to connect with us on social media. Third, head over to foremanllc.com/podcast to sign up to our email list. And fourth, check out all the links and resources in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in to the Don't Call It Small Business Podcast, for sharing these episodes with others, and for your continued support. And don't forget what we tell you on every episode. Don't call what you're planning, thinking, dreaming, or doing, little or small. Go big, go bold, or go nowhere. We can't wait to reconnect with you soon. See you next time.